Have you ever been hurt by someone, and instead of arguing, explaining, or seeking revenge, you simply disappeared from their life completely? No goodbye. No dramatic confrontation. Just silence. At first glance, people who cut others off after being hurt may seem cold, emotionally distant, or even cruel. But psychology tells a very different story. Because for many people, cutting someone off is not about hatred. It's about protection. And the deeper reason behind it reveals something fascinating about the human mind. You see, emotionally intelligent people often reach a point where their nervous system becomes exhausted from repeated emotional pain. After enough disappointment, betrayal, manipulation, or emotional neglect, the brain starts recognizing certain people as emotional danger. And once that happens, something changes. Instead of fighting for connection, the mind chooses distance. Psychologists call this emotional withdrawal. It's a defense mechanism designed to reduce emotional stress and regain psychological control. In simple words, some people stop talking because their mind no longer feels safe staying connected. What's interesting is that people who cut others off are often not impulsive at all. In fact, many of them stay quiet for a very long time before finally leaving. They observe patterns. They replay conversations in their minds. They give second chances, third chances, sometimes even 10 chances. But eventually, something inside them breaks. Not loudly. Silently. And when they finally detach emotionally, they do it completely. This is why some people can suddenly seem emotionally done overnight. But psychologically, the decision was building inside them for months, or even years. Another reason people cut others off when hurt is because of emotional self-preservation. The brain remembers emotional pain almost like physical pain. Studies in neuroscience show that rejection and heartbreak activate similar brain regions as physical injury. That means emotional betrayal literally affects the brain like a wound. And just like the body protects an injured area while healing, the mind often protects itself by removing the source of pain. That's why some people disappear without explanation. Not because they lack emotions, but because they feel too much. Now here's where it gets deeper. People who cut others off are often highly sensitive to disrespect, dishonesty, or emotional inconsistency. Small behaviors others ignore can feel extremely significant to them. A broken promise. A cold tone. Feeling emotionally dismissed. Over time, these experiences create emotional fatigue. And eventually, silence becomes easier than constantly explaining pain to someone who never truly understands it. But there's also a darker side to this behavior. Sometimes cutting people off becomes an unhealthy coping mechanism. Instead of communicating feelings, some individuals escape conflict entirely. They avoid vulnerability, avoid difficult conversations, avoid emotional risk. In psychology, this is often connected to avoidant attachment patterns formed through painful past experiences. So the behavior is not always strength. Sometimes it's fear disguised as control. And that's what makes human behavior so complicated. Two people can do the exact same thing for completely different psychological reasons. One person cuts people off to heal. Another cuts people off to avoid being hurt again. So here's the deeper question. When someone suddenly cuts you off after being hurt, do you think they're protecting their peace or protecting their pain?